Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie Yates Anya, Steph Anya for short, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down some of the ways that I like to take care of myself, being a therapist and working with difficult subjects every day. If you're curious, stay tuned. I can say that even though I have a full practice, I still do not feel burnt out. Of course, there are days where I feel very, very tired, but I am still really energized and invigorated in the work that I do. And I think a lot of that has to do with the way that I am very intentional with taking care of myself. It goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. This is not how all therapists take care of themselves. This is how I specifically take care of myself. And my methods for self-care change, they evolve. I'll probably do updates on this video because I'm going to even share at the end some areas that I'm specifically going to be targeting and working on for the rest of the year, so that you guys can hold me accountable. The most important thing I've learned about my self-care journey is to work with myself instead of against myself, meaning that my self-care should make my life easier and more enjoyable. I shouldn't feel ashamed or guilty or more stressed as I try to take care of myself. If you are seeing people online that are promoting a certain lifestyle and you're like, oh, that looks amazing, they seem so mature, and you are compromising the things that you enjoy and that really work for you, trying to fit into a mold of what that it girl is doing or trying to be someone that you're not, don't work against yourself, work with yourself. One of the most underrated forms of self-care that I have really come to appreciate is keeping a clean space. A lot of times when we are just running and ripping and trying to be so productive, we let certain things slide by the wayside, and then the next time you want to prepare a meal, you're in a messy kitchen, or when you're looking for that perfect shirt that you feel your best in, it's not clean. That is something that I am personally still working on, but something that I know when I have this completed, taken care of, I feel a lot better. When my room is clean, when I've made the bed for the day, when the kitchen is clean after a meal and I can make a snack and not worry about it, keeping my bathroom clean so that I can fully enjoy a bubble bath. If I'm going to be putting on makeup, just everything nice and clean and neat just keeps me more energized and more optimistic. For me, working with myself, knowing myself, that is a huge part of my self-care. I really feel a lot better. Another way that a lot of us are more familiar with taking care of yourself is through pampering. I'm the kind of person, I take a hot bubble bath every single day pretty much. There's some days I'll take a shower, but a lot of days I take a bath. I just love to sit in the bath and read. Another way is that I like to keep my nails done. A lot of you notice in my videos that I normally have polish on my nails, whether I do it myself or I get it outsourced. I really enjoy just being able, I talk with my hands. You guys know I talk with my hands. And so I definitely like to have polish on my hands when possible, have my feet done, especially in the summer. Another thing that I've been incorporating more in this last year is actually paying professionals to come to my house and wash my hair and set it. For the last few years, I've been doing it myself, and I do enjoy doing my hair, but especially having natural hair, a lot of you guys know it can be such a handful. So I really recognize the value of having somebody else to take a look at my hair, my scalp, and I just really find that to be a very nice way to treat myself. I don't always do it, but when I do, it just feels amazing. Activity is super important to me for self-care. A lot of times I feel so behind in the day, or I feel so guilty throughout the day when I haven't done something active, whether that be going on a hike or a bike ride. We've done those things in previous day in the life videos, and also CoPilot. So I've been using CoPilot now for the last 5 or 6 months very regularly, and I love it. Again, working with yourself. I can't always feel motivated enough to drive to a gym, even if it's only a 10-minute drive. What I love about CoPilot is that there are exercises where my coach, she found out what equipment I have here. where like I don't have a 10-pound weight, but I have an 8-pound weight. I have a yoga ball, I have a jump rope, and whatever I have, that's how she builds my workouts. And when I want to go to the gym, she'll build a workout for me at the gym. This amount of time on the treadmill, this amount of time on this machine. And so I really like the flexibility. And if I do decide to go on a hike or ride the bike, my watch will communicate to her how many calories I was able to burn with that exercise. So that way she knows, for example, if I did like a lot of leg work in the past week, maybe we'll pull back on the leg work this upcoming week. And CoPilot holds me accountable to other things now outside of working out, habits like reading. So one of my favorite ways to really distract myself, also learn, is to read. I'm huge on reading. It's one of my go-to methods of dealing with stress. This month alone, I've read 9 books. And so in CoPilot, you can add whatever habits you're interested in building. And I added read a chapter of a book every day. So I have that double satisfaction of reading as well as being able to cross something off. So I love CoPilot for the habit building skills, whether it's physical or not. So make sure you check out the description box for the link to CoPilot so you can try it out for yourself. Another huge aspect of my personal self-care is finding the balance between being a part of a community as well as balancing boundaries in situations that don't feel good for me. And so socially, I try to connect with people who love the same things I do. I have friends who love plants like I love plants. I'm part of a book club. I found community on Goodreads, so I love to read. I love to see what people are reading. If you're on Goodreads, guys, find me. You can just look at Goodreads/Steph Anya, and I'll have the link for that in my description box. I love being on Goodreads and seeing what you guys are reading, and I'm trying to build my friends on there. I love to have reading dates with my friends, whether it be virtual or in person. And so I just think it's amazing to be able to build community. You know, I found community for just even being married, just a group of women who are also married and navigating marriage. I have a group of therapist friends that I meet with, some I work with, some I used to work with, some I used to be on boards with. And it's just really nice when you can find people that want to talk about the same things that you want to talk about, and you don't have to feel like you're geeking out too much or you're boring them. I truly enjoy finding community. But the really hard part for me has been identifying spaces that I have historically spent a lot of time in that actually drained my energy. I used to think that I had a lot of social anxiety until I started actually spending time with groups that I enjoy being with. And it was actually that I just was not feeling at peace or comfortable with the people that I was spending the most time with. Really be cognizant of your surroundings and the community that you purposefully find. Hopefully being with your family or friends will be enough community for you. But if you need to find community outside of that, don't be afraid to meet new people and put yourself out there. I found it to be really rewarding. Another boundary that I have around my social life is when it comes to social media. This is just a personal preference. I find that when I spend a lot of time on social media, I start comparing myself. I start feeling drained. I might start feeling pressure to perform. And those things for me are just not good for my mental health. So I have a limit on my social media across platforms per day. This is actually very doable. I very rarely hit that mark, you know, and what I do instead is I like to challenge my mind. A lot of times I'll do like crossword puzzles. I love to do word searches. I love to do Sudoku. These are just some of the things that I enjoy doing, and they engage my mind and give me the opportunity to spend some time alone and not so much time online, because I get burnt out easily when I'm on social media too much. But again, that's just me. That's not shaming social media. That's just my experience. Another very important underestimated aspect of self-care is nutrition. I try to make sure that I eat fruits and veggies every single day. I take vitamins every single day. The way I work with myself is I know if it's in the house, I am going to eat it. Okay, so I don't even buy snacks that I won't feel good about eating. If I want them, I have to hop in the car, drive somewhere, get a single portion, eat it, and that's the end. And so working with myself is really important, because otherwise I can't stay committed to my own health and fitness goals. Another important thing for me is traveling. With us, we prioritize traveling because That for us is what makes our life more rich and fulfilling. We don't really buy expensive items. We buy used cars. We didn't buy an expensive home because we wanted to be able to have enough money to support traveling and having other memories, or even funding businesses and things like that. So figuring out what your priorities are. Maybe for you, it's the opposite. Like, you spend the most time at home, so you want to make sure you have a luxury home, a luxury car, nice decor. That is just working with yourself again and not against yourself. So now I'm going to share with you guys some things I'm working on, because I don't want to give you guys the impression that I just have self-care all figured out and it's perfect. Absolutely not, okay? There are things I'm working on, and I'm going to share those things with you guys for transparency and for accountability. So the first thing I want to work on is drinking more water. I drink a good amount of water, but I could drink so much more water. I think I spend a lot of time being dehydrated, and especially when I'm talking so much throughout the day as a therapist or recording videos, I get so thirsty and tired by the end of the day simply because I probably haven't been consuming enough water. So this is the area that I definitely need to work on. Another thing that I'm working on is getting to bed earlier, because when we travel, we might go to sleep earlier because we're set to a different time zone, and I usually feel better during those times. That's not to say that I'm trying to make myself wake up any earlier, but I kind of would like to get to bed a little bit earlier because it takes me a while to fall asleep, and I don't want to be finally falling asleep around 3 or 4 in the morning. So this is something else that I want to focus on. Another thing I'm looking forward to trying is adding an extra day of working out. I'm going to be communicating that to my CoPilot coach this week. I'm going to be working harder to keep certain spaces clean. Our bedroom gets cluttered so quickly because you're taking off clothes, you're changing, you might not feel like making up the bed. But these last few weeks, I've been really committed to trying to keep our space clean. And that includes doing things like making sure when I do the laundry, I wash, dry, fold, hang things up in the same day, so that we don't have a bunch of laundry baskets around our room. And, ultimately I end up just wearing everything out of my laundry basket and it's time to do the laundry all over again. So I've been trying to be a little bit more on top of that, because I think that that will help me have one less thing that I'm worried about that's utilizing brain space or making me feel guilty, which of course we want to target less guilt and more positive affect. I'm curious, what is the number one recommendation you have for self-care? What do you love to do that makes you feel your absolute best? Thank you to CoPilot for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check them out in the description box below. Again, my name is Stephanie Yates Anya, Steph Anya for short. I ask that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, share it with a friend. Most importantly, thank you for watching all the way until the end. That really helps me with the YouTube algorithm and everything. So thank you.